NASA is the world's premier space agency. Brilliant scientists, engineers, and brave astronauts are still doing terrific work in space.
We choose to go to the moon.
But there is a growing sense that something is wrong. NASA is downplaying, possibly covering up, serious problems with the ISS and the Artemis program. What does NASA not want us to know? I'm Tom with Boundless Space, and this video is about the obstacles NASA faces in reaching its ambitious goals. The agency wants to turn low Earth orbit LEO over to commercial companies so NASA can return to the moon and go beyond. But will the ISS last until 2030? Did you know that ISS is leaking air into space? Since 2021, the ISS has been leaking more than expected, and while some cracks have been identified and sealed, the other sources remain unknown. These leaks are the top safety risk for the station. NASA's contract for the station repairs and maintenance is with Boeing, so yeah. Despite these leaks, some of which may be on the Russian half of the station, NASA believes the ISS can operate safely through 2030. Let's hope so, because the NASA Office of Inspector General found without LEO research, deep space exploration becomes riskier, and without a LEO destination, the commercial space economy would likely collapse. So there's a lot riding on Boeing and Roscosmos maintaining the ISS. But will there even be a space station after ISS retires? NASA's crewed LEO Destinations program is designed for private companies to take on the responsibility of operating stations in LEO. A successful handover would save NASA around $4 billion per year. But what NASA's not talking about is that at least one of these proposed stations is in financial distress. Axiom Space was awarded a contract to attach 2 modules to the ISS, giving it a huge advantage over its competition. But mismanagement at the company has left the Axiom Station project well behind in its payments to SpaceX and others. NASA will make further awards for its CLD program in 2025. It appears this funding may be too little, too late for Axiom. Why is NASA's budget so tight? Even apart from the current global economic downturn, the Artemis program and its cost-plus overruns are causing chaos. We know the SLS costs an eye-popping $4 billion per launch, and the next version of SLS, the Block 1B, needed for Artemis 4 and beyond, requires a new mobile launcher. Originally, this was budgeted for $383 million for delivery in 2023, but now NASA's Inspector General projects it costs $2.7 billion, with actual use no earlier than 2029. To put that in perspective, the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in human history, was built for less, and this is just the launch tower for SLS. Cost overruns like SLS and ML2 are a big part of why NASA has had to cut science programs like the Chandra X-ray Space Telescope and the Viper Lunar Rover. But surely, the rest of Artemis, Lunar Gateway, and Orion, they're in good shape, right? Lunar Gateway has its own host of problems worth its own video, but let's look at Artemis. NASA's Artemis 1, the first launch of the SLS, was beautiful, and the mission went perfectly, according to NASA, 2 years ago. However, in May 2024, NASA's OIG released a report showing concerning wear on the heat shield. That does not look good. The heat shield was expected to melt away evenly as the material burned off, allowing for the capsule to cool ablatively. NASA has taken the last 6 months to study the cause of this uneven erosion and have found the root cause. But they're not going to tell us just yet. Why? Artemis 1 was uncrewed, and while most think crew would have been perfectly safe returning from the moon's orbit in Orion, that capsule is supposed to be reusable. At its $1.3 billion price tag, it should be. Artemis 2, with astronauts Reed Wiseman, Christina Cook, Victor Glover, and Canadian astronaut Jeremy Hansen, are currently scheduled for a moon flyby mission in September 2025. The Orion heat shield issues could delay Artemis 2 for years. Lockheed Martin, maker of the $1 billion per capsule Orion, and NASA owe us answers. There's always risk in human spaceflight, especially when leaving low Earth orbit, but for NASA to understand the cause of Orion's heat shield unexpected erosion and be unwilling to explain reeks of a cover-up and a major roadblock for returning to the moon. What do you think? Does NASA have good reason to keep quiet on Orion and ISS problems? Is everything fine? Tell me. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, YouTube thinks you'll like the one on screen now.